I'd just like to run through, I'll give you a bit of walk around my new Grand Duke from Goldfields in Maryborough. So I'll start off, the camper came basically as is. It came with 10-foot porta potty, 145, Smart Tech light, hot water service, a stand to put the hot water service on, a projector battery charger, but it just had these clips, so I've modified that a little bit. I've actually gone and put Anderson plugs in, so I can plug directly into my camper rather than play around with these silly things. Also it came with a 160 watt solar panel. The solar panel came with a carry bag. It also came already with these type of connections, so I can go to a battery or Anderson plug straight into the camper trailer to keep it charged. Okay, so when I ordered this Grand Duke, I went for the Cruisemaster DR35 hitch rather than the old polyblock. So I don't trust polyblock, that's my opinion. The handbrake is there, but when I got it home and I looked at it, it's actually very loose, and the nut here is loose and it was rolling, so I've got to adjust that. These two taps here is where the hot water service will plug into to supply the hot water to the camper. There is two gas cylinders, so this one can reach either cylinder, but if you're working and having shaft set up, you'll probably have one going to your heater inside. This one here will plug into this one and go to your hot water service. We come around here, we've got this compartment, which is for your fridge. The camper does come with a fridge. It's a companion fridge. It's a 100 litre dual zone. I'm currently testing it inside at the moment, and I'll give you feedback on that later on. Okay, so that's the compartment. You can see all the powers on this side. The companion fridge power, it's got to come on this side. So I'm going to run a wire from there to the other side. And when I do so, I'm going to use one of these tracks so that when the fridge comes forward, it'll keep that wire out of harm's way. Another modification, thanks. Grand Duke also came with some tools. Wheel brace. And two more little spanners and some Allen keys. That's your toolkit. So this is used when you're dropping your legs. So you can drop your legs and you can wind. Or alternatively, you'll do what I did. I went down and bought a socket. A lot better than using those things. Next compartment, two nice long slide out drawers, another area at the top here which at the moment has got tent pegs in. Probably a storage problem. I'll probably look at putting some storage elsewhere for the tent pegs. This over here is where our stove is. Should come right out. That with some legs underneath. Give it a little lift. Spice rack or drying rack, whatever you want to call it. have our tap. And in here as well we have a light which can go over the sink or the stove. Stove has got some windshields. It's in this compartment here at the moment, this drawer, we've got our water fittings which will plug in to the camper and to the sink. Up the top here, you may not be able to see, there's a cigarette lighter attachment in there for power. The top button is for the front tank. The bottom one is for the rear water tank. So if I turn them on, there's our water coming through. Now they've got a flick mixer tap on here, so if I had the hot water service hooked up, the hot water would mix through. This goes in underneath your sink, supposedly, and into a drum so you can collect your water. Not a fan of this type of plug system. I think I'll replace that and put a pop-up one in. In here we have a cutlery drawer, which is quite nice and clean, and a bit of extra preparation space. 4 burner. It's got a bracket here that has to be removed while cooking. This is only a travel restraint. Okay, over here there's 4 buttons which are the piezo electrics, so just to turn and click and start your gas. Okay, another thing with these campers, because they're running the piezo, it's actually a battery system. So if I take the drawer up, you actually see under here there's a little plastic container. You have to come around this side, mate. And in here there's a little D battery. It's a D, let's have a look. There's your battery. So you just have to make sure that you put your, if it's not sparking, maybe you need a new battery. Right, and then we'll just put the drawer back here. This is our gas connection for the stove. It goes in here, you unscrew this. Come on, little girl. Of course it will be. That'll screw in. Also, there's a little yellow gas tap here. So make sure that's turned on when you go to cook, and when you go to travel, make sure it's switched off, and also switch off your cylinder at the front. Back on the other side, in here, there's another little cord. This is what supplies electric to your lights. It just plugs in just underneath the switch there. Okay, around the back here. Okay, so underneath the Grand Duke, you can see that we've got recovery shackles on recovery points. They're 4 3/4 ton recovery shackles, one on either side. In the centre there's a point where you could plug in your bike rack, or maybe a TV antenna, or whatever you want to go with. The silver there is the covering which is protecting the stainless steel tank. if we go right under the vehicle, you can actually see the suspension of the Grand Duke. This is twin shocks with a coil trailing, and you can see the retaining chains there. So it's a fairly substantial looking suspension, and as you can see as we look through, the second tank and also the clearance under the trailer, so I've got a good bit of clearance for off-road work. Two spare tyres. If I want to get the tyres off, basically pull the pins out on both sides, drop that out the way, and that'll swing down so I get the tyres off. This rear winch is for pulling the camper back. This is our boat rack on here, which when I go to set up, which will fold up out of the way. In here is where I can get to the water pump should I need to service it. It's also where I'll be storing a couple of my tools. The water inlets. And this is our gauges here, which shows the percentage of battery and the voltage, showing that I've got two full tanks, the rear tank and the front tank. And this is a little bit wrong because at the moment the rear tank's the front tank's the rear tank. Someone must have got a bit adventurous on their wiring. So power, turn the fridge on, I can turn the sockets on, I can turn the lights on, and there's the pump. I can also turn things on from inside as well. Each of these locks is catches has got a lock, which I make sure is locked, and I'm trying the key to lock. Here's another cabinet as we come through. This is the other side of that long cabinet, which has got the tent poles in, and this is another slide out drawer. It's got a bit more depth to it. At the moment, it's got the tent pegs in. See all the catches, all these drawers have got these catches, locks, so the locks in the open position, and also make sure they're locked in transit. In here at the moment, we've got all our annexes. Yes, this camper did come with all its annexes. Like a lot of the Goldfields campers, it comes with their annexes, the side walls, and this here is supposedly a shower toilet area and the floors as well. There's also a small fire extinguisher. I'll probably get another one to put near the gas stove. This is the winch we use to pull the full trailer camper over. I'll show you that in another video. And I went out and bought myself a diesel can. I thought, oh yeah, I'll get a diesel one, I'll get a water one. And I've come to it and holy shit, doesn't fit. Not quite fit for purpose, eh? So I could take these off, that might get me some distance. Or maybe I've got to get some thinner tanks, just put water, and yeah, think of another idea for the diesel. Whether I actually put another couple of tanks holders in the back here, as a thought, but that's where I was thinking of putting a tent pole holder. Bit of thought required here to fix that little problem. Okay, so that'll do for now. So thanks for watching that video.